Alright, welcome to the Crabby Dice. Today we're going to be looking at the Voyages of Marco Polo expansion called the Agents of Venice. Alright, now in this expansion you are going to get two distinct modules, so you can play with one and not the other. You are going to get other things in the box like extra bonus cards, extra contracts, extra city cards. These are just added variety, just throw them into your base game. You are also going to get some character new powers. Some of them must be used with the expansion, so make sure you're playing with the correct ones and just shuffle those into your base game to add some variety. Alright, other things you're going to get, you are going to get a fifth player. Alright, to play with the fifth player you must play with the Venice board. We'll talk about that later. And you can get 4 more houses per color. Again, you must play with the Venice board to play with those 4 extra. Alright, so for this video I'm going to talk about both modules, how to set them up, and the rules, and then at the end of the video I'll give you my thoughts on both of them. Alright, so let's go. Alright, so the first module we're going to tackle is the companion module, which is the tiles that sit at the bottom of the board over here. So you're going to get 9 tiles, and what you're going to do every single round, you're going to take all these bonus tiles, you're going to shuffle them all face down. This is the face down side, and then you're going to reveal 6 of them to the right. Alright, so it's sort of random which 6 are going to come out. And this is just a new worker placement spot where you can get a bonus just for that round. Alright, so by putting a die here, first you're going to take a resource of the type of your choice. Alright, and then after that you get to take any of these tiles. Alright, so let's say you take this one. They're all going to have a different benefit. If there's a 1x on it somewhere, that means you can only use the benefit once and you flip it over to say that you've used it. If it doesn't have a 1x on it, then basically it's a persistent bonus for just that round. Alright, at the end of the round, you're going to gather all of these tiles again. You're going to all shuffle them face down and reveal a new set of 6. Alright, basically that's how this module works. Alright, the second module is the City of Venice, which is this board over here. Just as a general note, this should be on the left hand side of the board, but I'm going to display it on the right hand side just for camera purposes. Alright, and to set this up you need to do a couple things. The first thing is you need to give every player 4 more of these trading posts, and they go above their current line up here, which basically means they have 3 rows of trading posts instead of just 2. So when you start placing them, you follow the same rules. You start placing them from the left hand side, and then you move on to the next column, and so on and so on. Alright, the other setup you need to do is over here, just for scaling purposes. You're going to put 1 color of each unused player's die down here just to block off some spots. Alright, and then you're going to fill up the large cities with different cards and the small blue cities with the tokens like you would in the regular game. Alright, and you're pretty much ready to go. Now, what this module gives you is an extra worker placement spot, and there isn't a special rule just for this spot. Your own color can only be here 1 time. Alright, you can't have multiple of your own dice in this section. Alright, and by putting a die, what you're going to do is put out a trading house. Alright, so you pretty much put it out for free, and what you're going to do is the first one always has to be placed at the bottom here, and it gives you access to this large cities card. Alright, just like in the base game. Alright, after that you can place either to the right or the left here, but you always have to follow the dotted line. So you're just going to keep working your way up, and you're going to be unlocking abilities here, which from the small city, which are just resources you'll get at the beginning of every round, or you're going to unlock the cards where you can place dice on the large cities. Alright, in some of these places to cross you need to pay. For example, here it's money and here's camels. And the traveling works exactly the same way as the main board, except you're not using a travel action to go up there. You're using the action down here. Oh well, there you have it. Let's make this quick. Just a super low complex expansion. It comes with 2 different modules for just 2 different worker placement spots, and I really love this expansion. Alright, there's not a lot of complexity and a lot of rules overhead. It's just easy to play, easy to plug and play, and off you go. Now I'm gonna say I would definitely play this all the time at 4 and 5 players because it opens up the board just a little bit. It's a little too tight at 4 on the main board. At 2 and 3 you can throw them in or not. Honestly at 2 I throw in maybe 1, and at 3 I would just throw in 1 out of the 2. Alright, so let's talk about each of these separately. Let's talk about the companions first. I really love this expansion, or this module. It's probably my favorite module. It adds a lot of flexibility to your game. Alright, sometimes in the base game you're going to get to a certain point where you roll too high, roll too low, running out of money, running out of goods. You can be stuck in a situation where you're missing something that you really need. This module gives you the opportunity to get what you're missing at a moment's notice. Alright, for example, you're low on money. Go get the money girl. Every die you put, you're getting $8, which is gigantic. Alright, your dice are too low or too high. Get the dice manipulator girl so that you can sort of manipulate the dice however you like. You want to use a large city, you can do that. You want to get a lot of goods. Well, get the goods girl who lets you have to place one less die and adds 2 to the value of that die when you're getting goods in the bazaar. Just a lot of flexibility. You know, you want to move on the map? Go move on the map. Alright, so just a great expansion. Now what I am going to say is the only downfall of this expansion, already it was rare that somebody would use 3 dice to get gold because you can get gold in other ways. This one just gives you another opportunity to get gold. So if you're playing with this expansion, almost nobody ever gets the 3 dice for gold spot. But it is what it is. I still love this expansion. Alright, next let's talk about the city of Venice here. Alright, so the Venice board here is pretty awesome. I mean, the biggest benefit that I find when you're playing with this is that it finally gives you access to easy blue cities, which are just engine building cities. You'll get free stuff every single round, and because of that you're just going to be getting more stuff, more points, camels, money, goods, and so on to finish those contracts easier, to get then the bonuses from the contract. So it's a really enjoyable aspect of the game. There is also, I'm going to just mention at the top, a sort of race to go up there to get the 4 coin movement spot. That spot is really powerful, especially if you can get there somehow in the 3rd or 4th round to sort of get at least 2 shots at moving your character for only $4. So really overall a fantastic expansion. Also it does add extra city spots, which is always good. It just gives you access to more worker placement spots as you go on. That's a definite need if you're playing 5 players, and it just opens it up a little. Now I'm going to just talk 5 seconds about the extra stuff in the box. I mean, you just have extra bonus cards, extra contracts, extra large city locations. Just throw those into the base game. There's only a couple you need to remove, like this one if you're not playing with the companions, but 99% of the time it doesn't really matter. So unless that one comes up and you're not playing this one, just take it out of the game and just replace it with another card. Alright, every other part just fits in seamlessly with the base game, so just throw those in. Alright, finally let's just talk about the 5th player. So I would say 99% of the time, if there was an expansion with a 5th player module, I would say that module is garbage. Don't ever play with it. In this one, it's actually not that bad. It only adds about 15 max 20 minutes to your game. You sort of need it also to tighten up the board if you're playing with both expansions. It becomes a little open if you're playing 4 players after. So I really like this this game with 5 players. It doesn't add too much time to the game or AP. Alright, so those are my thoughts overall. A fantastic expansion. I know it's really hard to find, sorry about that, but if you can get your hands on it, grab it. Alright, we'll see you in the next one.